Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Jason. I'm here in beautiful, blistering, windy Tucson, and we're going to talk a little bit about safety. What do you do when you're out in the middle of nowhere and basically shit hits the fan? Something happens, you feel like you're unsafe, and bad things, bad people can basically come up and ruin your whole day, life, week, whatever. They can ruin it all. That's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, about a little bit of safety, a little bit about taking precautions, the simple stuff to keep you safe when you're trying to shoot your content. All right, let's get to it. All right, I hope it's not too windy out here. Basically, what we're going to cover a little bit today is just simple assessments of your situation where you're at. And one of the big things that we did in the military that we tried to have at all times was a little bit of situation awareness. That means it could mean something as simple as going to the store and looking around as you get out the car if it's at nighttime and checking your surroundings. A little situation awareness. Now, with being out here in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness, we have to do the same kind of precautions because the same type of things can happen, bad things can happen to you, even out here in the middle of nowhere. One of the biggest things that I do is I try and keep the bare minimum tools that I think I need to get me out of a jam or help me survive in a situation that can be, a little bit dangerous to my life, cause a little harm or maybe some injury. I want to make sure that I make it out, and I want to make sure that I can do what I need to do to get a hold of the people I need to get a hold of and to get myself back home safe and sound in one piece. Basically, this is the worst case scenario. What I call the worst case scenario, it would be on a tier of 1 to 4. It'd be a 4. In the middle of nowhere, shooting some content, and something goes wrong. In an urban environment, some people say that's 4. I think it's a 3, especially if you're aware, you have that situation awareness. You're looking around, you're checking people, you're seeing where you're at. Most of the times you can see something happen before it happens. You just got to be on the lookout for it. You just can't go through, looking around and, oh, I need some coffee, or, you're just talking, and you're not paying attention. If you have a friend, both of you can look out for each other. The buddy system is always good. The buddy system is great because it is a good way of shooting content and not having to worry about if something happens to yourself. You have a buddy there to help you. So the buddy system is always good. In the military, we always had a buddy. We used to call him our battle buddy. And it was great because, you had a little backup. But if you're by yourself and you're in the middle of nowhere, or say you're in urban environment or even residential district, neighborhood, shooting in a neighborhood, there might be a domestic next door, and something happens, and, the house might have somebody. I go to shoot a real estate shoot, and there's some squatters in the house, and we didn't know about, especially those real estate shoots that are in the middle of nowhere. There could be somebody in the house, so I got to be ready to act. And I always think about stuff like that when it's called the what if game we used to play. What if this happens? What if this happens? And you see me always looking around. I don't want nobody jumping on me. But we always played the what if game. And I do it in the city. I do it with the kids. I do it driving. And I really do it out here. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to look at my bag, my simple camera bag I had since the beginning. It serves the purpose. I love the bag. And we're going to go over it. All right, let's do this. All right, we're going to go over everything that's in the content of my bag right here. Let's start with the outside. Got the water right here. Always take water, bottled water. I keep bottled water. I keep a hard container in the car, and that always stays with me. And then I have a couple of extras I have an umbrella, not because of the rain, even though it rains here in Tucson, Arizona. It's really not for the rain. A lot of times, if we're in 100 and 115, 110 degree weather. And if you're in the middle of the desert, it gets bloody hot, especially if you don't have a hat. Your face can get sunburned in a matter of minutes. So if it's really hot, I will wear a pair of pants and a long sleeve if I'm out shooting, or I'll leave it in the car. That way I have it. And then I always bring an umbrella, just a simple small umbrella. And what that umbrella does basically, it provides a little bit of shade. And we learned this in the military. If you put some form of shade above your head, it will cool the top of your head, which is where the heat is coming out of and everything. And when you want that heat to escape out of that head, it will cool you down about 20 degrees. Just having a simple umbrella, something to put over your head. And I love an umbrella because I can walk with that thing and be good with it. But umbrella is really important, especially if you're out here. I keep one inside the truck and I keep one in my bag just in case. I also have over on this side here, I have a power generator. I have one in the car too, but I love this. It's a little power bank, excuse me. It will charge up my electronics and my phone, definitely my phone, about 5 times. This is amazing power bank. I love it. I'll worry about that later. And basically, as far as the outside of the bag, I might put something in like power bars down here or something, but basically that's it. In the bag, only in this portion, the other side, of course, has my camera gear. I'm not leaving that, so I'm taking my camera gear, but I'll have a flashlight just in case I get stuck. If I need to charge it, it has a USB on the back, and I can charge it with the power bank. I always carry a couple of knives. This is my hunting knife. It's good if I have to cut down something, do what I need to do, and basically cut anything you need to do with a knife. It's better to have a knife than not. Also, I forgot to show you, this one stays on the bag the whole time. Basically, it's a little knife that has a screwdriver. It has a couple other items on it. It's really cool. If I can get it off. There we go. It's got a carabiner on it. Basically flips out like so. Really good knife. I love this knife. All right. There's a knife. Zip that back on there. And let's go back inside. I'll have a couple of other items. Like I said, maybe some food. But the main thing I have in here are a few items that I love. I thought I heard something, but I don't hear anything. Check my 6. Nothing. I got some pepper spray. Pepper spray is great. The last thing I want to do is shoot somebody, and we'll go over that at the very end. But I got some pepper spray. I got a whistle. I'm walking around and step in a hole. I go down a little mine shaft, and believe it or not, there's a lot of mines around this area in Tucson. And just in case, you can just twist your ankle and you're on the ground out in the middle of nowhere. Whistle helps because eventually you'll get tired of yelling. And I have a little GPS, a little Garmin InReach Mini 2. I love this thing. It's great. Basically, you can set the coordinates of where you're at. You can also, if you look on here, hit the SOS button right here on the side. And you have to do a subscription for this. But basically, it'll alert my family members and say, hey, and the rescue services, it'll let them know that Mr. House, me, has went down in an area of Arizona, and it will basically let them know where I'm at. It's really good. I love it. And basically, that is it, you guys. I will have the bare minimum, and I will also carry, if you can see this, it's my walking stick. And this walking stick right here, it's a survival walking stick. It has parachute cord on the outside where you can put something together if you need a, if you're caught in the middle of nowhere, you can make yourself a little shelter. Inside of it, it has a little tube up here. Inside of it is a fire lighting kit where you can light a fire, just strike it. Has some flint in there. It has a fishing hook. It's a small little first aid kit in there. I also have one in the truck. It has a survival blanket. It has, what else does it has? It has a knife, I do believe. And also there's a spear part in here where there's a, say I'm in a place where there's some animals or something and you need to fend them off or, you know, do some hunting, whatever it is. There's a spear in there. And basically you can put it on the tip, secure it so it'll hold. And next thing you know, you have something to ward off. Now, being in Arizona, there's a lot of things out here in the middle of nowhere that I know that are here that, you know, and this is not talking about downtown. This is talking about out in the middle of nowhere. We have animals in our area. Rattlesnakes, of course, all the snakes. We have one of the peskiest things, we have javelina that roam the desert, especially in our area over here. And I tell you what, I've run across javelina many a times, and they're really mean and they can cause some damage. So if you don't have something for you to protect yourself against those javelinas, you could run into some serious issues. I mean, it's just not a good scene with the javelinas. We also have cats, you know, big cats, different kind of cats here. I'm not talking about your average everyday household cat. I'm talking about the cougar variety, the mountain lions, the wildcats. There's cats in the area and they've been known to stalk people. So you always have to look out for that. And just your regular everyday criminals and things like that that could be lurking around. So you got to be ready. One of the biggest things that that I do, and I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, is that if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, Tucson is a right to carry state, so you can carry in Arizona without a concealed license, you know. And I have one. You know, I'm trying to be the best responsible gun owner, being prior military, so it doesn't take nothing to get one. But I've always carried a gun pretty much all my life, and I will carry one if most definitely if I come out in the middle of nowhere, because there's a lot of people that could be out here, whether it be, you know, people trying to get away from whoever. I've done shoots on the other side of Tucson. It's a heavily known, you know, fentanyl area over there. So you want to make sure you're packing a little bit of heat. And also you have your regular, you know, drug smugglers that are running around. So, I mean, I'm not going to have a firefight with them out in the middle of nowhere, but I want to make sure I protect myself as well. So I make sure I have all of that on me when I go out. If I go into the city, urban, I feel confident in myself not to have to carry, even though sometimes warrant the case of carrying, you know, I feel confident that I don't have to carry in an urban environment. And if its situation changes, you know, if we're going through some hard times here and, you know, you never know. I have it available and I carry if I need to, but most of the time in an urban environment, in residential, I don't need to carry. But out here in the middle of nowhere, hell yeah. Another thing, another thing to worry about, the infamous flying a drone, and you have a crash. Now, I don't know if you ever crashed a drone, but it could be a pain in the butt, especially if you flew to a far distance and you have to go retrieve your drone. It could mean a very long walk. If you if you know the desert, you know where you're at, and you know where you're going. You know it could be pretty easy. You know, especially if you know the terrain, if you know how to navigate yourself through the forest, through the desert, it could be pretty easy. But if you don't know where you're at, you're in a place where you've never been. Oh, we got fighter jets. you're in a place you've never been, you need to carry a stick. You might have to you might have to carry a gun. Be quiet, Jet. Hang on a second. All right, I'm back. He decided to go afterburner as I was talking. I carry a stick because as you're walking, especially here in Arizona, we have a thing called rattlesnakes. We have little scorpions. We have little bugs. And when I'm walking through the bush, and the cacti, which can get you, oh my God, they can get you. We call them jumping cholla because you don't have to get close to it. For some reason, you have, thorns on you. It's ridiculous. But I use a stick when I'm walking through those little bushes and everything because it helps. It helps to be able to push that through there first and make a little path for yourself. Most rattlesnakes, most snakes won't mess with you. They hear you coming, they'll leave. You really have to antagonize the snake to get it to strike you. But there's nothing worse than stumbling on a snake when you don't want to stumble on a snake. It just pisses you off because it scares shit out of you. So I always carry the stick because I like carrying a little something with me anyway, besides what I have in my bag, whether it be a weapon or something. But I always like carrying a stick. It just helps because, like I said, you can go a long way. You have to go uphill, you have to go downhill. A nice stick, a nice little pole here to help you navigate. It helps a lot, And I also, in my truck, I always carry gloves, leather gloves, and I carry knee pads, and like I said, I carry a first aid kit. So if I'm somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I'm kitted out. Now remember, if you're in a beautiful forest, a place, mountains, and just you hike there, you are going to be prepared. You are going to have the necessary gear to do your job, get those shots, fly in the drone in the middle of nowhere. You're like, oh, in the place, singing the song, sound the music's going off, and you're just doing it. You are geared out. You're ready. This is what I'm talking about as far as being prepared is the day-to-day living in your environment, your home area, your home base. You still have to be a little prepared, and that's what I'm talking about. Because most of the shoots that I do, I don't go farther than maybe not even an hour from where I'm at. Most of the time, it's 30 minutes. But 30 minutes can take me pretty far out in the desert. So I want to make sure that I have the necessary tools to get my ass home if shit hits the fan. All right, I talked enough. I am going to wrap this up. But basically, if you guys like what I said and you're kind of liking the channel, please like me, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm going to try and get out 2 videos a week. We're busy. I'm busy, but it's worth it because I like doing it. It's a new cool thing, and I really like it. And I like pushing out different information about me and my journey as a content creator, and a newly content creator, and a senior one. I'm up there in age, and it's a little bit different for us, but I love pushing out what I've learned because everything is learning by by trial and error. I love it. It's so cool, and it's a journey. You guys need to make sure that when you're doing anything different like this, if this is your career or it's you're a senior and this is a new passion of yours, have fun with it. I mean, a lot of times we don't have to worry about the food. We don't have to worry about our next rent, and we don't have to worry about bills. A lot of us got that shit taken care of. Retirement's right around the corner, or you might be retired. This is just, something you do because you love it and you want to do it. You want to put that info out there for people. So have fun with it. I mean, it's nothing but a good time. And it's very rewarding, when people, write you and say, hey, that was pretty cool. I learned a lot. It's rewarding. So remember that. But anywho, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get home and cook me some vittles. You guys take care. Be safe. Remember, keep it simple. Keep moving. And you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.